In this video, we are going to talk about addition and subtraction with fractions. Before we start, we need to establish some definition that we are going to use during this video. So if I start with an example, let's say 1/2. The top number is what we call a numerator, and the bottom number is called a denominator. Now, what do these numbers actually mean in real life? Let's say I take, for example, a pizza. Okay, the denominator represents the number of segments or the number of parts in which I will divide my pizza in this case. So I divide it in half, and then the numerator represents the, the number of segments which I choose. So in this case, it's 1. So now let's take, for example, 3/4. Now remember the top number is the numerator and the bottom number is the denominator. Now if we take the pizza examples again, so now the denominator is 4, so we divide the pizza by 4, and the numerator is 3. So I choose to take 3 slices out of 4. Now, when we do addition and subtraction with fractions, it is very important that the two fractions have the same denominator. So let's say, for example, I have 1/4 plus 2/4. Since both of the denominators are the same, I can simply just add the two numerator, or if I have a subtraction, I just do the subtraction. So in this case, we have same denominator, so I can just add the numerator. So 1 plus 2 equals 3. And then you just take the same denominator. So in this case, 3/4. Now if I do the same example but with a subtraction, I have 1/4 minus 2/4. So these are the same. I simply do the subtraction. So 1 minus 2 equals -1. So the answer is -1/4. Perfect. Now we're going to move on with an example a little bit more difficult, in which the two denominators will not be the same. So the example is 1/3 plus 1/2. So what do you do when you have two denominators that are they're not the same? You have to find a common factor. So how can you do that? You have to find all the factors. And so a factor just means the result of a multiplication. So let's say if we want to find the factors for 3, because the first denominator is 3. So we have to do, let's say 3 times 1 equals 3, times 2 equals 6, times 3 equals 9, times 4 equals 12, and so on. Now we can do the same thing with the 2. So we have times 1 equals 2, times 2 equals 4, times 3 equals 6, times 4 equals 8, and so on. So now that we have found the factors, I said at the beginning we need to find the common factor. So we need to find the factor that is both in the factors of 3 and the factors of 2. So in this case, it is the 6. So then we need to transform these fractions to match the common factor. So how do we do that? Well, in the case of 3, I will just multiply the whole fraction times 2. So I'll do times 2 for the 3, And what I do at the bottom, I do at the top. So times 2 times 1, 1 times 2 at the top. So that gives us 2/6. And then we do plus. Oh, sorry. And then we're going to change the 1/2 fraction. So the 1/2 is times 3. So times 3 at the bottom, times 2 at the top. And that gives you 3/6. And then these are the same. So we can just do the addition, right? So 2 plus 3 equals 5/6. Perfect. Now let's do, we'll do a subtraction one. Let me just erase these. Okay, we'll do 3/4 minus 1/6. So in this case, we have not same denominators, and we have a subtraction. Okay, so we're going to do the same process as before. We're going to find the factors for 4. We're going to find the factors for 6, and then we'll try to find the common factor between the two. So it says I do times 1 times 4, so then 4, then times 2, that's 8, times 3, that's 12, times 4, that's 16, times 5, that's 20, and then times 6, that's 24, and so on. And then times 1 equals 6, times 2 equals 12, times 3, 18, times 4, 24, and so on. So in this case, we can see that 24 is the common factor. So for the 3/4, we're going to multiply it by 6, right? 6 is right here, times 6 at the top, times 6 at the bottom, and then we're going to multiply the 1/6 by 4, so times 4 times 4. That's going to give us 3 times 6, that's 18 on 24, minus 4 on 24. Now we can simply do the subtraction, so we'll do 18 minus 4, that's 14/24, and then we can simplify it. So if you can simplify it, always do it. It's the ethics of math that we call it that. So we'll do 7/12, and that is the final answer. Now when you'll find the factors at the beginning, it's gonna be a little bit tougher, but as you practice, you'll see that you'll be able to do it in your head, and you won't even need to write it down. Now, as with anything in math, if you want to really learn it, you have to practice it, right? So I'll give you guys some numbers to do, and put your answers in the comments. So the first one is gonna be 2/5 minus 1/5. Now you'll see these numbers, they get progressively harder as you go on. So you start quite easy, and then you go harder and harder as you go. Actually, we did that one. We'll do something tougher. And then for the last number, 3/4 minus 1/8. So these are numbers, and as you can see, for the first one, they're the common denominator, so you can just, well, you know what to do. And then as you go on, it gets tougher. So don't hesitate to put your answers in a comment, and best of luck.